Good evening and welcome in to the NFHS Network. I'm Heath Dunkel alongside Dunkel, bringing you tonight's tremendous match, or as the Michael Jackson song plays on the field, an absolute thriller, as it is the region champion battle between the Kingston Yellow Jackets and the Tornadoes of Alcoa High School. And Scott, couldn't have picked a better night to do it. We left the clouds behind us in Alcoa. We've got clear skies, the crisp air, and it is fall football.
It is, Heath, exactly. And what a way to start November. 66 degrees here in Kingston as the Yellow Jackets get ready to host the Tornadoes of Alcoa.
Currently, the Tornadoes sit 7-1, 3-0 in conference play as that big region game we talked about tonight. But just giving you a little bit more of an outlook of how the Tornadoes look so far for the season, averaging 34 points a game, allowing 14. And really some of that, Scott, that average in regards to what they allowed, a lot of it came at the beginning of the year. Since allowing over 20 points to two 6A programs to start the season, the Tornadoes have not allowed another opponent to eclipse 17 the remainder of the season. They are allowing 11.5 points per game since week 3 of the season. Against the region, the Tornadoes are averaging 51 points a game, allowing 9, and they continue their defensive dominance since holding the Rebel squad that averaged 40 points to 17. They have certainly continued to tighten the screws as the season has progressed.
Yes, they have, Heath. And you look at something, too, for tonight. You had that awesome game in Maryville. Alcoa winning that one in thrilling fashion. And then coming up Monday night and taking on Union County, taking that game, and then tonight. So Alcoa playing 3 games in 8 days, and this one, though, is for the region.
Yes, Scott, a lot of ball games in a short span. 3 games, 8 days. This is the final game of that slate. Then they'll get a little bit of a break, if you will, before they get back into the regular programming next Friday when round 1 of the playoffs start, and the Tornadoes will be back at home. Because of that postponed Union County game, after what would have been a really long stretch on the road at the end of the season, they got to go back home on Monday. They get right back on the road tonight, but they'll be back home at least for the first 2 rounds if they're able to win round 1 at Alcoa and then progress from there. This is also a team, Scott, that after their win against Maryville, they moved back up in the High School Football America rankings and have cracked the top 200, as currently sitting at 197th in the nation, with Maryville sitting at 199. Some of those teams above them right now: Ravenwood at 102, Oakland at 103, McCallie at 160, Innsworth at 194, and then they've got a couple behind them in that top 300. Brentwood at 202, Brentwood Academy at 232, Pearl-Con at 279, Houston at 285, and Collier at 297. So there's a lot of great teams in Tennessee that have found their way in the top 300 in the nation. Just says a lot about the football. And also that Ravenwood team, Scott, at 102, the only loss to the Tornadoes so far this season, a 10-point loss. But you and I got to speak about it a little bit on Monday, but just kind of revisiting that again. While that loss still stung, number 1, it helped the Tornadoes figure out what they needed to improve upon. But number 2, it doesn't look as bad because this Ravenwood team is good, and they beat Oakland last Friday.
That they did, Heath, and that is a team that is a thorn in the side of Maryville. So you know Ravenwood is having a great season to be able to do that.
Some of the impressive things about the teams we played on our schedule this year: 8 teams off the schedule made the 2023 playoffs. Out of the 8 teams, 1 was a state champ, 1 was a semifinalist, 2 quarterfinals, 3 the second round, and 1 got to the first round. The Tornadoes are led so far this season by quarterback Eli Graff. Eli Graff has had a heck of a year so far. 82 of 115 for 1,164 passing yards, averaging 14 yards per pass, 71% completion percentage, and 15 touchdowns for the year. And on top of that, Scott, he also looks like what a running back's numbers would be for the season. He also has 79 carries, 557 yards, averaging 6 yards a touch, and has got 7 touchdowns. I was looking at the stats going into this game. Those things, plus his 1 reception, plus his kickoff and punt return yardage, he is sitting at 1,869 all-purpose yards. He could very well eclipse 2,000 all-purpose yards tonight.
Yes, he can, Heath. And, you know, you hear him talk about dual-threat quarterback. He is the typical threat quarterback because you don't know what he's going to do with that ball, and he can he can just take you down the field on a pass, or before you turn and look, is down the field running the ball, going for a touchdown.
Had the opportunity to speak with him on Wednesday at our Tornado Live at Black Horse Pub and Brewery, and one of the things he told us when I asked him that question was, that instinct to know when to throw, when to run, and kind of be able to balance the two. Is that instinctual? Is that something taught? And he said it's really just kind of more instincts. He's got that clock and knowing when it's time to go, and if he's able to go and keep his eyes down the field, he'll try to do that first, but if not, he'll just take off and make up what he can, and that's been proven to be successful for him so far this season. Eli Graff, a Mr. Football nominee in 3A, but alongside of him, another Mr. Football nominee. It's the Michigan man himself, Eli Owens. He's got 24 receptions, 315 yards, 13 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. He also plays a little bit of defense, 28.5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 6 assisted TFLs. And, Scott, the thing is, when you look at those stats, while they are impressive, what doesn't show up on the stats is a lot of the other big blocks and plays that he made in the Maryville game and other games like that have proven to help Eli Graff, Condis Cherry, Micah Jones have the success that they have.
Right, Heath. And those things, it's the intangibles that make your team. You can have a guy that can run the ball up and down the field, and I've seen some schools that have some speedsters this year, last year, years before, that have speedsters. But if you don't have the guy getting the block, you don't have the guy getting downfield when he's supposed to, if you don't have those little intangibles, it's not really going to matter what you got.
Well, and just another reason why Eli Owens was sought after by several Division I programs, over 20 scholarship offers, ultimately decided to go play for the Michigan Wolverines. We cannot wait to see him at the next level, but we're going to enjoy the last few games we have left of him. But just another outstanding young man. We got to talk to Jameer Turner as well, another good playmaker for this defense. But you know where he really shines, folks? He's great on defense, but special teams. Going into this game now, he's got 3 field goal blocks for the season. Some players don't even have that in their career.
Exactly, Heath. And Jameer just feeds off that. That's just something that he enjoys doing. And you tell it when he does it and he comes running off the field, the crowd is electric because they are so excited because he's excited.
Right now having a great year in the 101st season of Tornado football. Tornado 783 wins. That's best for, I believe, 4th all-time in Tennessee. But we're getting ready to get things started here in just a moment. It's the Tornadoes who will be kicking off. The Yellow Jackets will receive. So Kingston won the toss, and they did elect to receive the football. Our captains for tonight, Tornadoes, had number 52, Jameer Turner, number 58, Ryan McCourt, and number 63, Isaiah Emmert. For Kingston, it was number 1, that is Tyson McAmis, number 83, Landon Ritter, number 14, Carcel Whitehead, and also number 33, Ryan Stewart. So that was your starting lineup for tonight, or your starting captains, for tonight. Thank you so much for that information. And here we go. Kyron Tyson kicks a low one. It's going to stay in play. Caught at the 5 and returnable. They'll now cross field over here to the far side, heading towards the Kingston sidelines. And he is brought down past the 25, and the Yellow Jackets will come out for their first offensive drive.
A return from Carcel Whitehead Sr., Heath. Or he's a senior. Sorry, looked at my sheet for a second. I thought, how can he be a senior? But, yeah, a good return from Whitehead gets the ball out to about the 28-yard line of Kingston, where they'll have it first down and 10.
So Kingston comes out in the shotgun formation, running back to the right of the quarterback. Tight end split off to the right, and then a receiver to the left and right of the formation. They'll send the receiver from the left to the right side. So now 2 receivers on the right. They'll hand it off up the middle, looking for a hole, and it closing quick as the running falls ahead for a gain of 1. And that was Carcel Whitehead on the carry. They'll say he got 2. It's 2nd and 8. On the front, it's 4 defense for that was. All right, welcome back in. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties as a long run from Carcel Whitehead takes it down the field and to the end zone. Just able to find an opening in that defense. Wasn't able to see the exact yardage on that
70.
one. Looks like a 70-yard rush. Okay, thanks for that update. So 70-yard run for Carcel. Scott, they just created just enough space, and he got to that second level, and no one could catch up to it.
No, and it looked like Alcoa was expecting a run off the right side because once he got past the linebackers, there was nobody to stop him.
Mm-hmm. So that Kingston strikes first 7-0 here in the region championship between these two teams. And now this Tornado offense will get an opportunity to respond.
So he's something you don't see every day, especially this early in a ball game, someone take the lead that quickly on Alcoa.
Well, and again, one of the things we brought up in the pregame show, Scott, and I think may potentially rear its head a little bit in this one, is just that attrition. The third game in 8 days, and seeing how these Tornadoes respond to that. See a team that's a little bit more fresh, and right now making the Tornadoes pay. A fantastic run for Whitehead, and the extra point was good a moment ago. So it is 7-0 with 10:54 left to go in the first quarter. Back to receive for Alcoa. You've got Micah Jones, Jameer Dean, and Condis Cherry. So the Tornadoes keeping Eli Graff on this one away from the return. Scott, and a bad kickoff goes out of bounds. That will be a penalty. Give the Tornadoes good field position to start this one.
Well, when you look at the options who you're kicking it to, that may be your best option.
Fair point. Now just waiting for the referee to get everything set, squared away. And Scott, instead of marking the ball after the kick, Alcoa has elected for Kingston to re-kick.
Interesting move, but I kind of wondered the way the team was hesitant about getting into the huddle.
Alcoa was like, nope, we want this football. We want an opportunity to respond here. So still the same men back to return. Cherry, Jones, and Dean. We'll see if we have the same result or if they will put it in play.
Be able to pick your poison. Which guy do you really want to kick this to?
Well, and the thing
one
is,
of them is one I want to kick to.
Not only that, right in front of him, Scott, is Eli Owens, Jacoby Cooper, and Jamirius Abuhanya. So all of them certainly lethal threats. This one will go to Jacoby Cooper. Jacoby Cooper will now cross sides, head this way, now cut it up, and he will be brought down, but it will be even better field position for the Tornadoes by not accepting the penalty. He kind of waited for a moment. It looked like he was to see if the Tornadoes were going to set up a wall, and instead the Yellow Jackets able to squeeze through and make the play.
Yeah, one of the guys for Alcoa probably had a shot for the defender and instead went for someone in front of him instead and allowed that defender to be able to grab hold of him.
So it'll put the ball at the 48-yard line. They'll hand it off to Micah Jones up the middle. 5-yard gain by Jones. It'll bring up second down.
Yeah, Alcoa has been really content a lot this year to just run the ball, not so much opening the passing game, and also using a lot of clock as they do so.
So 2nd and 5 for Alcoa. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. A fake handoff. They'll turn, throw it outside. A screen set up for Jameer Dean. There's Dean past the first down marker and brought down. They had Eli Owens out there in the slot. Eli Owens was the one setting up the block for Dean. It'll be an 18-yard play as he made it from the 47 to the 5. Excuse me, that was actually a 12-yard play. It was past the 50, excuse me. 12-yard play for Jameer Dean as it's first down. They'll fake the handoff. They'll go to the air again. The connected in the flats to Eli Owens. Eli Owens bulldozing the defender and then walking out of bounds around the 20.
You knew that was going to be a hard hit. Eli just lowered that shoulder and backed him up.
Well, and when he exploded on the defender still was able to have the wherewithal to, even on the ground, kind of get his hands up, grab his leg, make sure he kept him where he needed to help out his defense. So a good play nonetheless by the defender. It's now 1st and 10. Ball at the 19. The Tornadoes now looking to try to respond after Kingston opened up the ball game with a touchdown. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Jones in the backfield. The snap. The fake handoff, and it's Graff who's going to keep it around the left side. Graff taking off, getting to the first down marker, and then some pushing ahead. He will not get into the end zone, but he is going to get a couple yards away. Good run by Eli Graff, the far side of the field, and had all the time and space to run.
Well, he had the defensive end coming around the corner. Looked like he was going to have a shot at him. Just didn't quite get the right angle as Eli's speed also affected it. And you could see him reach for him, but just could not get to Eli, allowing Eli to get around the corner.
Tornadoes line up quickly, hand it off to Micah Jones, and he waltzes into the end zone for a Tornado touchdown. So just like that, Alcoa gets the ball back, works their way down the field, and gets on the board. And now we'll wait Kyron Tyson's extra point to tie the ball game. Chase Lawrence to hold. There's the snap. The kick is up. That kick is good. So with 9:24 left to go in the first quarter, we are knotted up at 7. So a good response by the Tornado offense. Now you have to imagine Coach Nick's already trying to make some necessary adjustments to make sure his defense on this time around gets the ball back and does not allow another score.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to fix that hole in that gap that they had just a little while ago.
Some of the key players defensively for the Tornadoes tonight. Sophomore safety Micah Jones, 27 tackles for the season. Sophomore linebacker Darius Sutter, 35 tackles. That leads the team. He's got a half a sack. He's got 1 forced fumble and 1 tackle for loss. Junior defensive lineman Blair Goodson, 10.5 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Jameer Turner, 9 tackles, 1 sack, 3 field goal blocks. So we'll be looking out for them. It's got 3 of those players, 2 sophomores, 1 junior. So excited to see next year as well what this Tornado defense can become. As Kyron Tyson to kick away. This one will be caught and returned past the 20 to the 25. Now looking for some space, cuts it outside, tries to make his way back in, and will be escorted out of bounds at the 35. So a good return by number 6 of the Yellow Jackets. That was Tayshawn Hamilton. It was Carcel Whitehead who took it 70 yards for the first touchdown of the ball game as Kingston took the lead. Then the Tornadoes got the ball back and drove it down the field to answer. So we'll see if Kingston continues to go back to Carcel Whitehead at all, or if they start to rotate in some other players as well here on this drive. Currently 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. They'll send 1 in motion. They'll hand the ball off to number 6. That's Hamilton, and Hamilton will go nowhere. He'll go backwards, if anything, as he'll lose a few.
Yeah, like I said, Alcoa adjusted the first series and was able to get on him really quick there.
So that'll be a loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12. Scott, as they're rotating players in, one of the things we have an opportunity on this drive to talk about is we'll talk a little bit about the region and kind of how that's shaping up here in the final week of the regular season. 2nd and 12, both teams back to the line of scrimmage, running back to the right. And fake the handoff. Quarterback will try to keep it himself, and he will lose another few yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, a run option there by Reeder. Decided he was going to take it, handing it off, and the gap that he probably thought he saw that he could take was no longer there by the time he started.
A good job shooting the by the defense, forces a 3rd and 13, so a 1-yard loss by the quarterback. And as they break the huddle this time, they'll have receiver to the right and the left. Slot receiver on the left side as well. They'll turn, they'll look to that side, they'll throw. It's caught by number 9, trying to make some moves. Got past the first tackle, will not evade the rest as the Tornado defense swarms over and makes the tackle. So past the original line of scrimmage, a couple more, and it's going to be 4th and about 8.
Yeah, good try from Breedwell as he was trying to juke and jive to get away, or at least a little bit of a gap anyway from the defenders that were coming up on him. Just could not get away once Alcoa had multiple players over there.
That'll be a 6-yard pass that was completed. It's now 4th and 7, they'll call it, and the punter back to kick it away. Jameer Dean back to receive. Dean makes it. It's returnable. Dean now cuts it outside. A good tackle for Kingston. That was number 14, Carcel Whitehead on the play.
Yeah, Whitehead seems to be a little Mr. Everything here for Kingston, as he has been all over the place. Touchdown, 2 good tackles.
Yeah, and while Jameer Dean Scott was kind of looking forward, trying to juke and jive, Whitehead kind of snuck up behind him and just grabbed him by the waist and was able to bring him down. So first down for Alcoa at the 43.
Looks like it'll be a motion penalty. Oh, they're going to call offsides on Alcoa. So maybe one of the receivers had not lined up quite just right.
Yeah, you don't see many of those.
No, not on an offense.
When he said offsides, I immediately thought, on the defense?
Yeah, you have to make sure you know where that ball is when you're lining up on that outside. Sometimes you just kind of misjudge stuff.
That's
just
why you're
location.
supposed to check with the referee and make sure you're good.
Exactly.
So it's going to be 1st and 15 for Alcoa. This time they'll hand the ball off, and it looks like Condis Cherry on the carry. Carry down the field. There goes Condis. In a good run as he'll go out of bounds near the 30. Little shake, little bake, and then he was able to get to the outside and turn on the Jets. One of the fast running backs Alcoa rotates in throughout the ball game. Good run by Condis.
Yeah, he gets escorted by Breedwell out to the end of the sideline, but a good run again from Condis.
Graff rolls out to his right, throws it down the field, has Abu Hanya. Abu Hanya, touchdown, Tornadoes. As Graff led him, Abu Hanya brings it in and then is able to pick up the last few yards necessary as the tackle's made from behind, and he goes into the end zone and scores the touchdown. So the Tornadoes now, Scott, with their first lead of the ball game.
And hopefully not the last.
Very true, as Kyron Tyson back to kick.
A good drive from the Tornadoes.
Unlike last Friday night where Maryville was able to get in the backfield and block the first extra point of the day, Tyson now makes his 2nd straight extra point to start this ball game, and it's 14-7 with 7:07 left to go in the first quarter. And Scott, while we've got this little break in the action, talk to us now a little bit about how this region is kind of shaken up. There were some things we thought might come into play heading into this week. Not as much as anticipated after going a little bit deeper, diving into everything regionally. But why don't you kind of break that all out for us?
All right, Heath, thank you. Well, we'll start off with here Kingston and Alcoa tonight, both coming in 3-0 in region play. The winner of this game is going to take first place. The loser will take second. Austin East is 1-2 coming into the night, so they cannot catch or even affect the Alcoa Kingston standings after this. But Austin East will be playing at Scott tonight. Basically a win tonight, or pretty much Austin East is wrapped up third, regardless of what they do with Scott. And then Union County has 4th place, as they have the best they would be a tie with Scott. And, pardon me, Union has the head-to-head matchup against Scott. So basically what we're looking at now is just a positioning for first and second place. Austin East will be third, and Union County will take fourth place in the region.
All right, well, thanks for that breakdown, Scott. Scott is now both teams back on the field. And Alcoa kicks it away. This one is going to go out of bounds, and that'll be a penalty on the Tornadoes. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets will take yardage or elect for Alcoa to re-kick.
They're going to take the yardage because they're already bringing their offense out.
First and 10 for Kingston. Ball at the 35.
It's first and 10, Kingston.
It'll be Carcel Whitehead in the backfield. Full turn, hand it off to Whitehead. Whitehead around the right side. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. There's Darius Sutters to make the tackle. Micah Jones assisting as they bring him down, but a good game. Got a lot of speed when he gets to the outside, Scott.
That he does. He's already proven that once. So a good 7-yard gain from Whitehead, bringing up 2nd and 3 now for the Yellow Jackets.
Going to rotate players in. Is coming into the ball game for Kingston is number 4, Noah Johnson, as number 33, Ryan Stewart, makes his way out. Johnson will line up here to the left side of the formation. 2 receivers to the left, none to the right. A tight end split off to the right side. Whitehead in the backfield. Whitehead will get the carry. This time, nothing new, and Carter Cowart gets into the backfield and wraps up Whitehead for a loss. Good penetration, Scott, by the defense.
Yeah, they got on that one really quick. It looks like they've dropped him back about 3 yards on that play. Now it's going to be about 3rd and 6.
Almost looks like once you see Whitehead in the backfield, Alcoa is starting to pin their ears back and just anticipate the run.
Well, you look how well they played against one of the best running backs in the state with Price Davis last Friday.
We'll bring up 3rd and 6. Clock continues to run as we've got 5.5 left to go in the first quarter.
And Heath, actually, I think that 70-yard run by Whitehead earlier is probably the longest run against Alcoa in quite a while.
Yeah, I think you're right. As a lot of pressure, quarterback just has to take off with it. He'll gain a yard. It'll bring up 4th and 5. Yellow Jackets will now be forced to punt it away.
Tackle by Cowart. 4th down.
A Coward on the tackle for the Tornadoes, keeping Reeder from getting any good distance on that.
You've got Jameer Dean back to receive. It was Carcel Whitehead who was able to sneak behind him and bring him down to the last punt return. See if Dean can make a few more miss, maybe find himself with a punt return touchdown as he awaits this one. It's punted away. This one's a little short, may have to fair catch it, and he will. So it will be fair caught around the 33. The Tornadoes will come out on offense. Their first field position of the day, Scott.
And that's at what, the 32?
32-33.
33.
Kingston Yellow Jackets 5-4 this season, but 3-0 in the region. As we mentioned earlier, this one is for all the marbles. The Battle of the Region Championship tonight between Alcoa and Kingston. Kingston averaging 27 points a game, allowing 28. Last season was 8-4, 3-1 in the region, and made it to the second round of the playoffs where they fell to Gallup in 7-48 as the Tornadoes run it here on first down. It'll be Micah Jones on that carry, and Jones with a gain of 9. It's now 2nd and 1. Tornadoes quickly line back up. They'll go right to the wells. There goes Jones. Jones this time outside of the left tackle and pushes forward. He'll pick up the first down and a few more after that. appears to be a gain of 5 for Micah.
And it seems Alcoa's in the hurry-up offense here as they rush back to the line again.
Trips to the right, receiver to the left. Graff trying to get the defense to jump. They will not. And so now the Tornadoes look over to the sidelines and get the updated play call. Graff towards the line, calls things out, turns, makes sure Micah's ready to go. There's the snap, the fake handoff. Graff will drop back, look to throw it deep. Nothing doing. He'll roll it to his left. Now throw it down the field. He's got an open Jameer Dean. Caught and tackled around the 15. But Sky Dean had just made his way past the defense and kind of sitting there waiting for it. And
yeah, if he had not had to probably come back a couple of steps towards it, allowed the defender to turn around and get a little closer, he probably would have had open field.
Yeah, just kind of had to wait on that football to come to him, and he had to step forward a little bit to make the catch. It allowed the defense to catch up to him. Now the Tornadoes hand it off to Jones. Jones pushes a guy out of the way, sheds another defender, and then lowers his head and finds himself in the end zone. Another touchdown, Tornadoes. So Micah Jones, his second rushing touchdown of the day.
Yeah, and a good 15-yarder right there for him as well, as he just kind of pushed a few out of his way and was able to get right down the field. Yep. So with that, bringing the score to 20-7 now for Alcoa as they line up for the extra point.
There's a snap, and right before the blocker can get there, Tyson's able to get it up and through the uprights. 3:09 left to go in the first quarter. 21-7, all Tornadoes. Scott, taking a look at the all-time series between these two teams. Tonight is the 23rd meeting all-time between Alcoa and Kingston since 1946. Alcoa leads the series 17-5. It was Kingston who won the first 5 games of this series, and it's been Tornadoes ever since. 15 in a row since 2009 when the teams were placed in the same region, and 4 of those victories have been in the playoffs.
Well, Kingston's a good team. You know you're going to face them again, or at least have an opportunity to see them again later on in the playoffs as it is.
Yeah, Kingston so far 34 playoff appearances. Come next week, it'll be 35 in program history. They've got 1 state championship, and their playoff record is 34-33.
Right now, depending on how things shape up in Region 1 3A, there's a good possibility that they will be hosting Unicoi County.
That'd be good to have another game here for Kingston. That'd be great.
Well, either way, they're going to be hosting the first game.
That's awesome. And as Carcel Whitehead on the return, taken down at the, looks like 24. So the Yellow Jackets started off the ball game with a touchdown, led 7-0, and it's been the Tornadoes reeling off 21 points ever since. So Kingston now finds themselves in a hole to climb out of, but still plenty of time. 3:02 left to go in the first quarter. Certainly would love to end this first quarter driving the football down the field or in the end zone if you're Kingston. They'll send a man in motion. They'll turn, they'll hand it off to Hamilton. Hamilton meets the Tornado defense at the line. He's brought down. 2nd and 10.
Good swarming defense from the Tornadoes as they got on the ball really quick.
Yeah, he was kind of heading one direction in the hole and started to cut back through the hole. And as soon as he did, you just saw 3 or 4 defenders come out of nowhere and just plug that gap.
Well, and this front line, too, you know, not only specializes in stopping the run, also prides himself in keeping that from happening. And I'm sure that 70-yard run from Whitehead really woke them up.
So 2nd and 10. There's the snap. Quarterback will look to throw. He gets it off quickly, and it's intercepted. Cade Stinnett was able to bring down the catch. It took him a minute, Scott, as he almost had it initially kind of bounced out of his hands, but then was able to dive and complete the INT. So good play by the junior linebacker.
Yeah, and I don't think Readers saw him because it looked like instead of throwing over him, he tried to throw through him. And he just popped up real fast. And like you said, got his hands up. Ball kind of came off the hands, but he was able to dive out and catch it.
Yeah, it really kind of looked like one of those where you catch it and you just throw it to a spot, and he went to fire, and when he looked up to fire it, Stinnett was right there to kind of jump in front of that route and make the play. So the Tornadoes now, Eli Graff will roll out, complete it to Jacoby Cooper. Cooper misses one, tries to spin off another, but as he spins off, goes out of play. So it'll be first down at the 11.
Steps out of bounds at the 11. First down, Alcoa.
Tornadoes will bring out trips to the left, two receivers to the right. Empty backfield for Graff.
Yeah, and the offensive line giving Graff a lot of time to throw.
Graff will turn, he'll throw, completed a screen setup for Eli Owens. Eli Owens scoots around the ref and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Tornadoes.
Pass complete.
And that's second touchdown for Eli in as many games as well.
Well, and Scott, when Alcoa set up that screen, the offensive lineman did a good job getting in place to allow him to kind of cut up the seam. I don't know if Owens could have anticipated. The referee got the play call as well, able to kind of set up a block there for him. And now Tornado back for another extra point, so scoring quickly and often here in the first. Extra point is up. Extra point is good.
It's good.
A minute 51 left to go in the first quarter. 28-7. Tornadoes in the lead.
All right, they're getting ready for the kickoff. Let's take a real quick look at possible scenarios for the playoffs right now. Region 1, 3A, as Johnson County leads the Region 4 and Gatlinburg Pittman 3-1, Unicoi County 3-1, Pigeon Forge, Claiborne County both 1-3. Those two teams play tonight against each other, as I believe Claiborne is coming to Pigeon Forge. Let's see, look at that. No, they are at Claiborne. Either way, the winner of that game will get Alcoa next week. Johnson County is playing Unicoi County. That could put a big effect in this, as if Unicoi County wins that game, they will take first. Johnson County slides down to second, and Gatlinburg Pittman will slide down to the third spot. If Johnson County wins, you will see it exactly as it is: Johnson County, Gatlinburg Pittman, and Unicoi County in that order.
The Tornadoes kick off, caught by Whitehead at the 6. Whitehead waiting for a hole, finds one, cuts to the outside, turns on the Jets. Now he'll meet the rest of the Tornadoes and be tackled.
Yeah, Whitehead going slowly, trying to look for a lane. Just can't find one, decides to try to take it around the end.
Yeah, just a really patient runner, and once he finds a hole, that's when he'll turn it on. And he was looking around trying to find one, then decided to kind of turn it on and cut it to the outside near the Tornado sideline. And that is where the kickoff team was able to just kind of come over and seam up that sideline and then bring him down. So he got to the 25, and now it's Kingston offense back onto the field with a minute 40 left to go in the first quarter, down 28-7. The snap, they'll pitch it outside to Hamilton, trying to have some more success they didn't have up the middle, but that still won't do anything either, as the speed of the Tornado defense pursues quickly, and it's a loss of 1.
Owens.
Yeah, and Alcoa got back in the backfield quickly, just ran past the running back, though, just barely missed him on the pitch. Could have had a possibility there for a really big loss.
So now 2nd and 11. As they break the huddle, it is Hamilton in the backfield. He's to the left side of Reeder. Reeder will get the snap, turn. He'll look to throw it quickly. Some miscommunication, Scott, between him and his wide receiver, as he threw it a little bit behind the receiver. When by the time the receiver turned around, he had to kind of almost dive to make that reception, but wasn't able to bring it in.
Yeah, and the receiver needed to be really careful, too, as he tried to grab it and pull it in. He almost slung it up next to him where the defender was just happened to be standing.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to take advantage of the cushion the Tornadoes DBs were giving them, trying to do just like a really quick 5-yard hitch. But again, quarterback got it out a little bit quicker than the receiver was ready for, caused the incompletion. Third and 11. They'll turn, they'll throw it down the field. And that one is caught.
And I was really surprised he did not step out of bounds on there. There's a flag on the play, though, around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Scott, I would imagine it would be offensive pass interference, as it did look like between the two. He kind of pushed off to be able to create separation and make the catch. It was a great catch, but I think that's what they're going to call.
Yeah, the referee's discussing, and they're going to bring the ball back. But I agree with you. It did look like a little bit of a push-off.
Pass interference, Kingston.
Yeah, and it looks like there's still some conversation as Coach Pankey out there to talk with the referee about it, and certainly can understand that frustration, as it was a good catch by the wide receiver. I think where the penalty was thrown was you could see them kind of right there beside each other. Condis was right in front of him. Receiver was able to get kind of a bump with that. He extended that arm and was able to create that space to make the grab, and I think that's what the referee saw.
Yeah, and that's where you get caught the most. If you see the arm extended like that, that can cause a referee to see what, or at least what he saw in this case.
Well, and nonetheless, a tough
But I thought
break.
a good
'Cause
catch,
I thought it was a good throw. Four is obviously a talented receiver and was doing whatever he could to bring down the football. But instead of it being a really big first down for the Yellow Jackets, it does unfortunately move them in the wrong direction. It'll put the ball at the 12. And the thing is, too, I think the receiver's got a little bit of height over Condis. If I'm Kingston, if you could just get your line to give him a little bit more time, I'd probably try to go back to that one-on-one matchup again, see what you're able to do with it.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Just kind of lead the receiver, though, so it keeps it away from Condis, because if that's within Condis' reach, he's going to get it.
So it is 3rd and 23 now. 43.5 seconds remain in the first quarter. They'll turn. This time they'll elect to run the football. It'll be Hamilton on the carry.
Hamilton carries.
Hamilton brought down. It'll bring up 4th and long, and the Yellow Jackets will be forced to punt. So a 1-yard gain by Hamilton. And Scott, as this clock continues to tick, there's a good chance we'll get to the end of the first quarter before this one is booted away.
Yeah, because the play clock just started, and there's about 10 seconds left here.
Yeah, the coaches are yelling out to their team, hey, just go ahead and kind of work your way back over here. Let's get to the end of the first. Let's regroup and kind of reset as a team.
But Heath, I was going to point out something, too, right before that happened. To look who was back there to receive the punt was Eli Graff.
So Graff making his way back into the fold as a punt returner, and we'll see him potentially get an opportunity here in a moment as it's the end of the first quarter, 28-7. Tornadoes in the lead. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Owens blocked it. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back in, folks. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but just to catch you up, as we opened up the second quarter, it was a punt by Kingston that was blocked by Eli Owens. It was recovered by Micah Jones in the end zone, and the Tornadoes score again. The extra point is up and good, and it's now 35-7. Alcoa, 11:53 left to go in the second quarter. So, Scott, for Alcoa, a great way to start quarter number 2.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, what can you ask for right there is just to go ahead and get a quick score. You didn't get 7 seconds into the second quarter. You're already up.
Well, and I was telling you guys a minute ago, and again, we got a long way to go, but I was saying a few minutes ago after that touchdown, Micah Jones already potentially making a case for his second FX player of the game this season, as he's got 3 touchdowns today, 2 rushing, and then 1 on that fumble recovery.
So special teams touchdown and 2 offensive. So, and that's just barely a full quarter and a couple of seconds. That's pretty good. That's a good night work. He could probably go ahead and kick his feet up now.
Great stat line for that young man. And credit to Eli Owens on the block. Mm-hmm. Again, we talk about him doing a little bit of everything.
I was watching earlier where he busted through the line quickly. And, again, right there he found a soft spot in there to get through. So kickoff back, it looks like Whitehead again, or no. That is going to be Hamilton as he rushes around the end. Alcoa trying to bring him down. He continues to work his way through up around the 30-yard line as we see a flag come in. And actually, it looks like possibly 2, one that came in during the tackle and then one that was back around the 25-yard line. But that referee picks his up. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do. So they're going to call a personal foul, face mask on the Tornadoes. Will add 15 yards to the end of the run.
So favorable field position for the Yellow Jackets to start this offensive drive.
So that's going to move the ball up to it's like the 48-yard line of Kingston, which will probably be, I think, the best position they've had all night.
Yeah, I think you're right, Scott, as here comes the offense. Hamilton in the backfield with Reeder. 2 receivers out to the left. A receiver tied to the formation on the right side. He'll send him in motion. They'll turn him off on a jet sweep. And, whoa, Blair Goodson getting to the backfield and slamming him down on that jet sweep attempt. That was Swicegood who got it, and Blair Goodson just blew it up.
Loss of 4, second down.
Blair Goodson, a junior defensive lineman for the Tornadoes, came into tonight's game, 10.5 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss. He'll pick up another TFL there. It's now 2nd and 14. But really, I think the first time tonight we've seen the jet sweep by the Yellow Jackets. Scott, just trying to find some sort of consistency on offense, trying to confuse this defense to see if they can kind of open up the playbook. It's just been tough sledding today. As they'll throw it, it's caught and intercepted by Cherry. Cherry's got some blockers in front of him. He's trying to continue to find holes as Kings is doing a good job shedding the blocks, and they will bring him down. But he was able to jump in front of that pass, bring down an interception that he wasn't able to get earlier, and gives the ball back to Alcoa.
And again, Reeder's pass just not got any height, does not have any height to it, and he just threw it basically right to Condas. Because Condas has been close on another one already tonight, but that one was just right to him.
And Scott Condas will play running back now as Micah Jones makes his way into the ball game, and it'll be Condas in the backfield. Also be a new quarterback into the ball game as Manu makes his way into the game for Alcoa. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They'll have, it looks like Jalen Pinson slid off to the left side. They'll move him in motion. Fake the handoff. They'll turn to look outside. Now they're going to fire it down the field. He's got Abu Hanya. Abu Hanya holds it down. He extends his arms. Is he in? He is. Touchdown, Tornadoes.
Everyone's working for the play of the game tonight, Heath. That's Abuhanya's second touchdown as well.
That's true. So Abuhanya now his second touchdown today. He's got a good pass from Manu, and he put it up in the air, and Abuhanya was able to just climb the ladder, bring it down, and as he was coming down, the defender grabbed him. He just kind of extended his hands as far as he could and tried to make sure that ball was in the end zone. Turns out it was. Tyson still in for kicking duties. Lawrence to hold. There's the snap. The kick is up. The kick is good.
It's good.
And I got a feeling we probably see Tyson much more the rest of the night as well.
Yeah, the Tornadoes may elect to move soon to Chase Lawrence, as he is typically the one who come in after Tyson to get some opportunities. And then Scott, we saw also, and I'm trying to find him here on the roster. Give me just a moment, see if I can find him. There he is, another kicker, a freshman that got some opportunities in that Union County game, Levi Yanez Cato as well. So we could also potentially see Cato later in the game.
Yeah, I think he got 2 opportunities for extra points Monday night, and he did well with it.
Well, and with Tyson and Lawrence, both juniors, Cato could really potentially be the next man up after they graduate. So you want to try to get him in where you can. It was just a few years ago where we had to rely on Kyron Tyson a game or two when Bacon Louderback had some injuries, and
Right.
Tyson was only a freshman. So the more reps you can get these younger players, the better. So Alcoa will kick it away. There's the deep boot by Tyson. It will be returnable. It's caught around the 5. It's Hamilton on the return. Hamilton cuts out to the right side. Shedding tackles. He's gotten past a few, spins around, and will fall backwards to around
Hamilton's
the 25.
had 2 really good returns.
Well, and Scott, the thing is, Hamilton and also Whitehead, 2 very impressive players. Carcel Whitehead, a senior, Tayshawn Hamilton, a junior. Both key playmakers for this Kingston team. We've just got to continue to find ways to get them involved in the game. It's been tough sledding in the backfield, but is there a way to try to get them out in space and then see what they can do with it?
Right. Both very impressive, have really good speed.
It'll be Hamilton in the backfield with Reeder. Reeder will turn, hand it to
And
Hamilton.
there's Owens.
And there's Eli Owens. And because Owens doesn't wrap up and just slings him, Hamilton keeps the feet churning and burning and will go forward for a positive gain. So it would have been a loss of around 3 or 4, but credit to Hamilton keeping himself moving, and that's just kind of on Eli for not bringing him down.
Yeah, and he knows better than that. He probably thought he had him, was just going to be able to sling him down. He let him go too soon. Next time, I don't see Eli doing that.
So it will be 2nd and 8 for the Yellow Jackets. They'll bring back into the game Noah Johnson. Johnson was one who almost made a really good catch for the Yellow Jackets earlier. We'll see if they try to go to him again. Right now, lone receiver on the right-hand side. They've got 2 running backs in the backfield. That is Whitehead and also Swicegood. Single receiver to the left as well. They'll hand it off to Whitehead. Some room to run. Whitehead pushing forward. And he'll get the first down for Kingston.
And that was about the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen Owens back in the backfield, just again barely missing the play as Whitehead was able to get up the field on him. But I mean, just another split second, and Eli's going to be taking the handoff.
Tornadoes rotate some defensive linemen into the game as Elijah Carter, the junior lineman, makes his way into the game. Also for Alcoa at the moment, number 48, that is Kenny Harris. So you've got Cowart, Harris, and Carter on the front for Alcoa. Swicegood and will get the carry, and he'll break one tackle. He'll cut it out to the left side, turn on some speed, break another, and it ends up being Darius Sutter who brings him down. But what looked like he was going to be brought down around the line of scrimmage, he's able to shed some blockers and a really hard-fought run by Swicegood and a first down for Kingston.
Yeah, and just running through some defenders right there.
So a fresh set of downs, ball on the 50 with 7:13 left to go in the second quarter. 42-7 your score. Whitehead in the backfield. They're sending Swicegood in motion. They'll fake it. It'll be a quarterback keeper. Reader ahead, but coming around the edge is Eli Owens, who's able to catch him from behind after a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Almost looks like, too, as they've kind of respotted the markers, they're actually going to give him 2 yards on the carry, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. Second and 8 for Kingston. Whitehead in the backfield. He'll turn. He'll hand it off to Whitehead. Whitehead having to cut it outside, but nowhere to go as Carter Cowart was chasing him down, and then meeting him on the front side was number 15, Del Hughes. That'll be a loss of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 11.
Looks like Whitehead's shaking up.
Whitehead is still down. That's not good. As this game progresses, we'll look to see if we have any scoring updates.
I haven't seen anything yet. I'll try to get you something as soon as I see something.
Yes, if we've got anything on Coach T, we'll bring that up and let you know. But right now, Kingston's still attending to Whitehead as he is down. Hate to see this. We're in a looks like they're going to be able to finally get him up. That's good to see, as he will gingerly make his way over to the sidelines. Looks like just kind of a leg injury, but trying to shake it off is Whitehead as he makes his way over. And glad to see him up, but also see him be able to walk off on his own.
All right, Heath, a couple of things that just started to pick up now. Cherokee leading Union County in the first 7-0. Morristown West over Cott County in the second, 14-0. Gatlinburg Pittman leading Chucky Doak in the second quarter, 35-0.
Back to the action we go, 3rd and 11, and it looks like a false start. We'll move this one backwards.
Heath, the score that you will enjoy, at least for right now, in the second quarter, Heritage 20, Clinton 7.
Go Mountaineers. Fortunately for Heritage, that will be their final game of the season. We'll talk a little bit more about the Blount County teams here in a moment. It's 3rd and 15. Looks closer to 3rd and 16, I believe is what it should be. So, yeah, 3rd and 16 we go. He'll get the snap. Reader to throw. He'll throw it across. He's got a man wide open. That's Swicegood, and Swicegood will fall ahead for a Kingston first down. And Scott, just some miscommunication by the defense. Swicegood was wide open.
Yeah, it looked like somebody did not pick him up.
Well,
and
a good read.
If you got it, take it.
Yeah, good read by Reader. Just being able to kind of scan the field, find the open man, and deliver that ball with pressure all around him. Good play. And a first down for Kingston will put the ball at the 36.
And a good battle going on in Knoxville over in the Powell community, as currently right now in the second quarter, it's West 10, Powell 9.
Good game there.
And that's going to be a battle that you're probably going to see again in the playoffs as well.
Mm-hmm. Break the huddle. It'll be Hamilton and I believe Swicegood in the backfield. From what I can tell, it'll be Hamilton on the carry. He'll get past the defender. He'll cut it up the field to the 30, to the 25, and out of bounds he goes.
Knocked out of bounds by 7.
And they'll actually say he was, let's see where they officially spot it. One ref had it a little bit behind the line. I think he did get the first down. So, yeah, it will be the 25, and that'll be a first down for Kingston.
Update real fast, Heath. West 17 now, Powell still 9. In a battle at Black Oak Ridge, Central leading Hollis 3-0.
First and 10, the handoff up the middle to Hamilton. Hamilton gets through the line and only a yard or so past that as the Tornadoes bring him down. It'll bring up second down. They'll give him.
Is it Goodson? Looks like slow to get up.
Yeah, Blair Goodson slowly getting up. He's okay. From what it looks like, will stay in the game. 2nd and 8 will be the official spot. So 2-yard gain for Hamilton. Two receivers to the left. Tight end split off to the right side. That's Swicegood. I'd still kind of watch that jet sweep for him. We'll see if they send him in motion. They don't. They're going to elect to pass. They'll throw it. And a low throw as it was intended for Johnson. Scott, just not enough air under that one. Condis Cherry was hoping there was a little bit more. So he was hoping to jump that route. But instead, it's now going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, Condis was already trying to work his way in front of the receiver. And if he had got that, he had Green in front of him.
Kingston's been able in a couple third downs now to convert some huge plays that has allowed them to keep this drive alive, continue to move it down the field. Not sure about their kicking situation here. If you get up 4th, do you go for it or do you have someone with the leg to be able to put it through the uprights here? We'll find out here in a moment what Kingston elects to do, but I'd have to imagine 42-7. This may be 4-down territory, trying to see if you can cut into this deficit right now here in the second quarter with 1:28 remaining in the second. There's the snap, the fake handoff, Reeder on the keeper. Reeder runs into his blocker, and then finishing him off was number 48 for Alcoa, Kenny Harris.
Yeah, along with Goodson, Harris was able to hold him up and wrap him, and Goodson came up behind him and just knocked that pile down.
And a loss of 2. It's now 4th and 10. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. We're under a minute left to go in the second quarter. Got taking their time over here. You do wonder if they're going to let this one dwindle all the way down and then take a timeout. See some of the players on the field looking over at the sidelines trying to figure out what's going on. I think Coach Pankey is just content to let this wind down as much as he can and either take a timeout or
play clock's down to 3.
Hopefully not a delay a game. Yep, there's the timeout.
Well, they have that, Heath. A quick look in the Region 1 right now. Unicoi County in the first leading Johnson County 7-0. Again, we talked about the things that could happen there in that region itself, just between those 3 teams, and how important this game is.
Yeah, and Scott, for those who may be wondering a moment ago why Coach Pankey was just letting that clock wind down, 2 reasons. One, he gives him an opportunity to take a little bit more time to think about what they want to do here in 4th down and draw up the right play. Number 2, it takes a lot of time off the clock to where if they don't get it, they don't give the Tornadoes a lot of time to get down the field.
Well, and the thing is, you don't need to give the Tornadoes any time to get down the field.
Well, and you almost wonder, too, right now, if they are able to get the stop, the Tornadoes just don't elect to run the football and take it to the half.
Yeah, that or take a knee. I mean, there's no reason
to try to air it out. Yeah, agreed.
In a quick one, too, Heath, Cosby currently leading North Green 14-7. This could be Cosby's first ever region championship.
Congratulations to them. Quarterback will drop back, look to throw towards the end zone. Has got Swicegood, and Swicegood reaches out, just can't get to the ball. It was just a touch too far in front of him. That'll be incomplete on fourth down. It'll be Tornado football.
In a good location, just like you said, a touch a little too much for him.
And it looks like they're just going to let the clock roll, and we're going to make our way to halftime. So that will be the end of the first half, a game that started Kingston on the board 7-0 with a quick score. The Tornadoes are able to respond in a big way. Scott, your thoughts of the first half?
Started out surprising the way Kingston got that first touchdown with Whitehead, that 70-yard run. I think the thing is that woke Alcoa up.
Well, and it seems to be that these two teams play a lot of times early in the ball game, especially. You see a good little fight between these two.
Yeah, exactly.
Kingston's got a very well-coached team, a really prideful team that has worked really hard this season, and they started off great. Just got a lot of things to work on here at halftime. We'll see if Coach Pinky's able to clean those up, because right now, Scott, a 35-point game. If Kingston can come, they have to stop Alcoa on defense because they elected to receive. But then if they can get the ball back and get the points on the board, they can get it back under 35 and slow this game down again. They're going to have to figure out what plays to call to be able to open up this offense and continue to help them move down the field. That is your halftime score, 42-7. We're going to take a break, and when we come back here on the NFHS Network, we'll bring you the third and fourth quarters of action. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the NFHS Network. Keith Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel for tonight's broadcast between the Tornadoes of Alcoa High School and the Yellow Jackets of Kingston High School. It is 42-7. Tornadoes in the lead as we get ready to begin the third quarter. It'll be the Tornadoes back to receive as Kingston won the toss to begin the game and elected to receive the football. The Tornadoes now will get their first opportunity as we kick off the third. Scott, we talked about that first two quarters really dominated by the Tornadoes. Kingston had opening possession. They took it down the field quickly in a 70-yard run, got them on the board first, but ever since then, it was all Alcoa.
Right, Heath, and it looked like just that really woke the defense up. They were shocked by that 70-yard run from Whitehead. That was a really good run from Whitehead. But after that, Alcoa's defense has just been stingy.
They certainly have, and with the score the way it is, near the end of the second quarter, Tornadoes started to roll in some youngsters to give them some opportunities as this kickoff will roll out of bounds and will be a penalty. Kingston had one of those earlier in the ball game. The Alcoa Tornadoes elected for them to re-kick, gave them really better field position as they got a more favorable kick that stayed in bounds and allowed them to return it past the 40. This time it doesn't look like Alcoa is going to elect a re-kick. They will go ahead and accept it at the 35. And Scott, we talked about those younger players rolling into the game. We saw the offense rotate some in as the last touchdown scored of the first half, was Thomas Manu throwing a touchdown to Jamirius Abuhanya. Now, Manu's still in the ball game, and some of these young receivers in as well. Two to the right, one to the left, and it is Justin Lindsay, the freshman, in the backfield with Manu. A handoff to Lindsay. Lindsay breaks one tackle. There he goes. He gets to the outside, gets past another. They'll bring him down past the first down marker. And the Tornadoes now with a first down on play number 1. Justin Lindsay was our prefect rushing against Union County.
And it looks like he picked up right where he left off.
They'll hand it off to him again. This time he'll bounce around the left side, Scott, and a good job by this defense pursuing the football, forcing Lindsay east and west, and he lost a yard on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 11.
And while Alcoa's getting reset, it's just a quick update for everyone keeping on Region 1. Johnson County now has tied it up 7-all. They're going into the half.
All right, well, thanks for that update, Scott. Alcoa will turn, fake the handoff, a throw. It'll be caught by Dell Hughes. And a first down for the Tornadoes. And that will be a 13-yard pass completion to Dell Hughes. A first down, and Alcoa very quickly. Scott, no huddle offense, right back to the line of scrimmage they go. I would look for them to probably hand it off here. They do. They'll give it to Lindsay. And Scott, as Lindsay bursts ahead for a few, there is a penalty flag thrown, maybe a hold on this offensive line.
And that's exactly what it is, Heath, is they're going to back him up. So it looks like they will back that up about 10 yards, and it'll be first down and 20 for the Tornadoes. A score that we're really trying to keep an eye on, and they've still not updated yet, is Pigeon Forge and Claiborne.
They'll hand it off again to Lindsay. There goes Lindsay bursting ahead. And Justin Lindsay, Scott, after a huge penalty, moves them backwards to 1st and 20, picks up more than that, and gets a first down for Alcoa.
Yeah, it looks like about 22 on that play right there. Good run from Justin.
Yeah, he finds an open hole, and he just turns it on, and he's got some size with it too, so certainly a load to bring down once he picks up a head of steam, as Lindsay will get the carry again. He'll grab a couple defenders around him and just carry them with him ahead for a few.
Yeah, and right now it just seems to be just continuous straight runs from Justin Lindsay as he marches Alcoa down the field.
It's now 2nd and 5 for Alcoa. Trip set bunched up to the right side of the line. It'll be a quarterback keeper for Manu, them leading the way, and Manu pushing ahead for a first down as he falls forward.
Just as I said that.
Well, and Scott, this is really kind of one of the few times this season we've been able to get to see a really long drive look at Thomas Manu.
Right.
As he's come in spurts, and then after a drive or two, handing the ball off, 1 or 2 passes, you've usually seen them move to Dougherty. So this is probably one of the longest drives. Manu's really kind of, I feel like, been able to string together this season, and it's fun to kind of watch him work and think about the future of Alcoa football. As Eli Graff, a senior, Manu a sophomore, and will more than likely have a chance to be the heir apparent next season. Graff.
Well, Alcoa was able to draw Kingston off sides as about 3 of their players jumped forward on that last or attempt to play from scrimmage anyway. It gives it 1st and 5 for the Tornadoes.
1st and 5 for Alcoa. And Alcoa will go back to the, no, they'll fake the handoff. He'll roll out. He'll try to dump it outside. It was almost intercepted. Swicegood with a good play, not allowing Manu to complete that one out in the flats to number 10, Jalen Pinson, who was open. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. So a good sell on the fake.
Swicegood should have turned to him and gave the little Matumbo finger there.
This time they will give it to Lindsey. Lindsey to the outside, pushing ahead, trying to get to that end zone. He will not get there as they bring him down. It'll be a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. I'd imagine I'd look for Alcoa to give it to him again here. See if he can finish off the drive. And he will. But a good play by the defensive lineman for Kingston. That was number 56, Daniel Hamilton, the junior, on the play. So he will lose some yards. Let's see how far back they put him.
Just when they had a good play on him, and then unfortunately that happens for him. That's not really what you want to see as you were starting to slow down the drive.
Yeah, you hate that after a great job by Hamilton getting into the backfield and really blowing that one up. A tough penalty just moves Alcoa right back forward, gives them new life and a 1st down.
8th, another score for you that you'll enjoy right now. In the 2nd quarter, Heritage 27, Clinton 7.
The Mountaineers, it's Lindsey on the carry. Kingston waiting for him. And they swarm to the football and do not allow him to get anything positive. 2nd down.
Yeah, hoping to get some more updates. So far, haven't seen anything on the Austin E. Scott game or Greenback and Auburn Springs.
This time it'll be a quarterback keeper. There goes Manu, and Manu finding a hole and falls into the end zone for a Tornado touchdown.
And that was something, Heath, that you and I both talked about on the way into Kingston today, was the speed of Manu as well.
Well, and us talking about just hoping to get an opportunity to see him a little bit longer, give him see what he's capable of, and certainly shows a really solid quarterback and able to lead this team when it's his turn. But right now, waiting for the extra point, it will be Chase Lawrence now making the extra point attempt for the Tornadoes. See if Chase can put this one through. There's the kick. It's up. And it is good. So, attaboy, young man. Chase Lawrence comes in. He'll get himself an extra point. Typically the holder for Kyron Tyson, but this time gets his opportunity. And it is now 49-7 with 4:13 left to go in the 3rd quarter. That continuous clock with the mercy rule in effect. Scott, we were told that it did start a little bit earlier. Started, I believe, in the 2nd quarter. So really started to move then. You saw that quarter go by pretty quickly. This 3rd quarter has gone by pretty fast as well, as we've only got a little over 4 minutes left of it before we move to the final quarter of action here at Kingston High School. And Scott, right now the Tornadoes in full command of trying to claim another region championship.
And that'll go great with your trivia question, eh?
It will. Trivia question of the night is, if Alcoa wins the region championship tonight, what is the total of district region titles in school history? So because they were district for a while, then they moved to region. So total combined is what we're looking for. I've seen some people answer, and they've gotten somewhat close, but I haven't seen a correct one yet.
Well, and speaking of that, that means that someone else that we know was involved in part of that as well, and that's Coach Gary Rankin. Currently, right now, his Boyd Buchanan team trails Grace Christian of Knoxville 14-6.
Oh, wow. Both teams came in with impressive records. Boyd Buchanan was undefeated. Grace Christian had, I believe, just suffered their first loss last week. I think it was to Silverdale Academy. Was that who they fell to?
It was.
Yeah, and that was a team that Boyd Buchanan was able to have a 2 or 3 score difference in victory over Silverdale. So I kind of thought Boyd would have a pretty decent night against Grace, but it looks like a really good ball game so far.
Yeah, I think Grace corrected a few things, it looks like, and come out ready to play.
This one is returnable, and there goes Hamilton off to the races. Can he get past Alcoa's kickoff team? It looks like he's going to. Alcoa tries to stop him. They will not. Hamilton will score.
A good run from Hamilton. Got a good position, got some good blocking on that side, was able to get down to the sideline. However, we have laundry on the field around the 50-yard line. So a tremendous run is going to be going back.
Absolutely brutal, Scott. A really good run by Hamilton. One of those playmakers we talked about earlier between White and Hamilton, 2 really good players for this Kingston team that if they can get an open space, have a lot of speed, and can turn on the Jets. You saw Hamilton do it there, but a block in the back penalty will negate the kickoff return touchdown.
Yeah, and that's tough. I know, especially as a runner, when you've had such a good run and you get down there, and then to see a flag laying on the field, just a kind of almost a heartbreaking moment for you when that happens.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jacket offense. They'll hand it off outside to Whitehead. Whitehead lowers his helmet, pushes forward. And Scott, they'll throw a penalty flag. Looks like it will be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, Alcoa.
And you are correct. So it gets them about 15 yards closer.
So after a penalty from Kingston earlier, Alcoa returns the favor with a penalty of their own. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to place it at the 37.
It will be 1st and 10, Kingston.
So the clock running with under 1:20 left in the third quarter. Alcoa defense getting set as Kingston comes to the line at the 37, 1st and 10.
Take the handoff. Reeder on the keeper. There goes Reeder.
Quarterback Reeder keeps.
And Reeder will bring up 2nd and short after that impressive run by the quarterback.
Will be 2nd and 2.
An 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2 now.
For the quarter as Kingston comes to the line, under 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
2nd and 2. It'll be Whitehead on the carry. He finds an opening, and then there's Alcoa to bring him down. That is McLeod on the tackle, but not before Whitehead picks up a 1st down. Clock will continue to roll, and Scott, I believe you're right. I believe the clock will expire here in a moment. Before they get off another play, we will be moving to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and a good hit from McLeod. He, especially after that one he took from Davis in the Maryville game, he kind of given that one back.
So that is the end of the third, 49-7. Tornadoes in the lead. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back for the final quarter of action here in a moment. Welcome back in as it's time to start the fourth quarter. It's Kingston who's driving as we ended the third. They had a kickoff that was returned for a touchdown, but a penalty negated it. And so right now their offense trying to make up for that and put it on the board as they have a first down ball at the 24-yard line. Send a man in motion. Fake the handoff. Quarterback keeper fumbled, but he's able to pick it back up and then fall to the turf after a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Kingston.
And he finally got something updated here out of Coach T, as it shows now. At the half, Pigeon Forge 34, Claiborne 0.
Well, we like to hear that, Scott, because I believe we were talking about it with Pigeon Forge winning. Yeah, I think it would be what? Would it be Claiborne that would make their way to us? Or who?
It's fourth position.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get
It'd
Pigeon
be Pigeon Forge. Okay. And it was a loss of 2, they'll say, for the quarterback. So it's 2nd and 12. Whitehead and Hamilton in the backfield. Instead, they'll turn and look to throw it. Got some more miscommunication between the quarterback and his receiver. Receiver was trying to get to 5 yards down the field. Quarterback threw it, but it was about 3 yards short. Receiver could not make his way back to the football in time. Quarterback knew that was on him, though. He did kind of turn to the sideline and say, hey, my bad, that one was on me. Just got to put it in the right spot because now it forces a 3rd and 12.
And Heath, another one. Also, this is a Region 2 3A update. Austin East in the second quarter leading Scott 14-0. So things, as we talked about in the beginning, things are slowly starting to shape up.
3rd and 12 for Kingston. The snap, the handoff. And that is to Hamilton. There is Hamilton spinning off defenders.
Nice move. He's still
and they're going to stop him before he picks up the first down, but he's only a couple yards away.
That was some good running from Hamilton. Spinning, turning, keeping those feet moving, able to get some progress anyway.
Yeah, really good run. Well, and it makes things difficult on the defense too, Scott, when you have both of them in the backfield because you have to keep your eye out for either one. Looks like Kingston was wanting a penalty, but referee explaining to him why it was not. It's now 4th and 2.
So just under 9:30 left in the fourth quarter. So Kingston with a 4th and 2 and a timeout.
So a timeout taken as they want to talk things over, see if they can come up with a play to get themselves first down or maybe even a touchdown here as it's 49-7. Scott, we talked a lot about the region, and I know we've given some score updates tonight. But for those who maybe missed it, just continue to let you know what was going on in Blount County this week. Greenback 2-7, 2-4 overall. They won last week against Sunbright 38-8, playing at Oliver Springs tonight. Eagleton 6-4, 3-2 for the season. They played Hampton last week, won 36-20. They played last night and won 47-12 to cap off the regular season as they defeated Cumberland Gap. Heritage 4-5, 0-4 in conference, so their season is done after tonight. They lost to Knox Central in a crucial region game last week, 10-35. They play Clinton tonight, and then William Blount 4-6. 2-3. They lost last week to Saudi Daisy. They lose again in a region game yesterday to Jefferson County. And Scott, last we heard, Heritage was winning their game. How's Greenback doing?
Greenback at the half, trailing Oliver Springs 41-6. Yeah, Heritage now up 40-7 at the half over Clinton. And a good game going on in West Knoxville. Bearden 21, Bradley Central 16.
And Scott, they decide to hand it off to Hamilton. Hamilton is, I believe, stopped on 4th down. And it looks like it will be Tornadoes football, and the refs officially say it's so. So Alcoa will now come on offense. Let's see if Manu's still in the game or if they'll move to the freshman, Luca Dougherty. It looks like Dougherty's the one who will take the helm at quarterback.
And good to see 2 games in a row for him to be able to get a little bit of playing experience and get a good feel for what it's going to be like out on the field, in the next couple of years.
Dougherty delivers the play call. The team lines up. We've got trips to the right, single receiver to the left. And it looks like Jermon Bishop in the backfield with Dougherty. It'll be Bishop on the carry. There goes Jermon. Jermon now picking up speed to the outside. Evades another defender, lowers his helmet down past the 30, but Scott, a flag is thrown. I believe it may be a hold on the young receiver, number 85 on the outside.
Yeah, thrown in the direction of where he was at. Holding.
It will be a holding penalty.
And that'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
10-yard penalty from the spot of foul, moves the ball back to the 16.
So it looks like it'll be 1st and 9 for Alcoa. Just coming under 7 minutes left in the game. Alcoa with the ball at the 16.
This time it'll be a quarterback keeper from Dougherty.
14, Luca Dougherty.
And a positive gain for him.
34, Brazil. 59, Noah Thompson on a stop. Second out, 4.
So 5-yard gain for Dougherty. Seeing some guesses on Tornado Trivia tonight would certainly encourage everyone to keep guessing as no one has got it right yet. They'll hand it off to Bishop. There goes Bishop ahead. Bishop pushing people out of his way, and Bishop will pick up a 1st down. With that 1st down, allows the Tornadoes just to continue to churn and burn clock here as we've got 5:45 left to go in this game. Alcoa can pick up, I'd say, another 1st down or 2, maybe able to just kind of run out the rest of this clock and finish this game.
Yeah, I think Alcoa is pretty much content just to run the ball, keep the clock moving. Even though it's a continuous clock, even if it was incomplete, it would still run.
Trips to the left, fake pitch. Dougherty on the keeper. Dougherty pushes to the outside. There he goes. A nice little run by the freshman as he picks up a 1st down and then some. A 20-yard run by Luca Dougherty. Dougherty, Scott, has a little bit faster wheels than I thought. Good run.
Yeah, looks a little bigger than what, when you see him from here, pretty good size, and you kind of think, well, maybe he's a little slower, but he can get out there just as quick as the rest of them can.
Yeah, good run by the young man. 1st and 10 for Alcoa. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Bishop to the right side of Dougherty in the backfield. In the shotgun we go. He'll hand it off to Bishop. Bishop bulldozing ahead. And a good run for Jermon. The Bishop again picking up steam.
Did you say Bishop or Bettis?
Bishop. Could be either one.
Reminded me of the Jerome Bettis of the bus.
Yeah.
Kind of going through the line there.
Yeah, he wasn't one you wanted to get in the way of either when he got going. It's now 2nd and 3, a 7-yard gain for Bishop.
Third quarter, Unicoi County 7, Johnson County 7.
Yeah, he's a update showing, they've updated it for the half actually now, showing Austin East 16, Scott 7. So it looks like Dougherty gets wrapped up. Dougherty gets wrapped up of a loss of 1.
Yeah, he faked the handoff to Bishop, looked to keep it himself. Almost lost 3 or 4, was able to kind of push the defender out of his way, and then as the defender was still holding on to him, just kind of struggled to fall forward and get as close as he could. And he got close back to that line of scrimmage, but did appear to lose at least 1. .310 remaining. If Alcoa can pick up a first down here, they should be able to wrap up this game and run out the rest of the clock. Alcoa taking their time in the huddle and just trying to burn this clock as much as they can as they make their way under 3 minutes. I would look for Bishop to get the carry here. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. And no, it'll be a quarterback keeper. Will let Bishop lead the way with a block. There goes Dougherty for a first down and then tackled at the 26.
Yeah, he's racked up quite a few yards between him and Bishop. Quite a few yards just come down on this series.
So a 14-yard gain for the freshman quarterback. Scott, this should pretty much do it. It should allow you the next couple plays to kind of run the rest of this clock out.
Yeah, because you didn't even have to snap the ball till under 2 minutes here.
Let's see where stats are currently for the freshman quarterback. That last run, 4 carries, 39 yards. Nice little day at the office for the young man, averaging 9.8 yards per carry. What about Bishop? Let's take a look at him. As Jermon Bishop, see if we can put him on the stat sheet. There he is, 2 for 19.
Well, Heath, as it looks like right now, the way things are going, and barring a miracle in Claiborne, Pigeon Ford's 34-0 at the half over Claiborne. So it looks like Alcoa will be having or hosting Pigeon Ford's next Friday night. Again, for Kingston, it's really going to depend on the outcome of that Unicoi County, Johnson County game right now that was tied up at 7, as Gatlinburg Pittman has control of their game over Chucky Doak, but they also are at the mercy of the Johnson County, Unicoi County game.
New runner in the backfield for Alcoa. Looks like it's Parker Lee, and it'll be Lee on the carry. Lee back to the original line of scrimmage, gains a couple more. Parker Lee, the freshman running back, and yeah, he is fast. You saw the sidelines, Scott, getting very pumped to see Parker in the ball game.
Most likely Alcoa will host Pigeon Forge. Kingston will host either Unicoi County or Gatlinburg Pittman.
Yeah, as we are under 1 minute, now under 40 seconds, as Alcoa with the play clock low, and will have to run at least one more play. And Alcoa just waiting, taking their time.
Yeah, they just need one more play.
Most likely Dougherty would come up, I would think, in a victory formation and just finish the game off. As there's 7 seconds left.
So, Scott, with the win tonight, the Tornadoes pick up their 13th consecutive region title, their 65th consecutive region win, and their 38th district region titles combined in school history.
So, did we get a winner?
We got a winner, but I was trying to see if anyone's listening, so we'll see if someone comments on social media. And it can't be a repeat winner, so if you've already won, I'm sorry, but you cannot comment. But if you haven't, get on there, be the first one to do so, and you'll win our prize pack this week. As that is your ball game, the Tornadoes win 49-7. Another impressive showing by the defense. The offense continuing to explode. both sides of the ball peaking at the right time as we move into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Alcoa doing extremely well. But another thing, too, Heath, other than the Maryville game, this week Alcoa starters get a chance to rest at least half the game, both Monday night and tonight.
Yeah, and that was crucial because after that hard-fought game last week, then having to play on Monday, then have to turn around and play today. So many games in so many days, 3 and 8 to be exact. Really hard on the body for no matter what your age is. And so they were able to kind of build leads, let their younger guys get some chances. And Scott, now get kind of like we said earlier, back to your regular programming back next week as they'll go back to that Friday schedule, right? And so they'll start the first round of the playoffs. It's going to take 4 wins to make it to state, 5 wins to get your 10th consecutive state title before the Tornadoes move next year up to 4A. I will say this, Scott, and whether you'll miss this or not, I have to say coming here to Kingston is always one of my favorite places to go because I just love this community. I think they always are hospitable. They take care of us. From the moment I sent a message earlier this week to the athletic director asking for assistance and rosters and things we needed, he got back to me within 20, 30 minutes, got me what I needed, made sure we had a spot in the booth. We've come up here. We've been taken care of throughout the night. Everyone has been hospitable and courteous to us. It's just one of the best places to play. And one of the things I always say, too, and I think it really shows itself and proves itself, is you can find out a lot about a program based on how people treat you throughout the week. And it kind of also reflects in how the team does on the field, because a team that's really well put together, usually it's top to bottom, and you see it throughout the community. It's a really good Kingston team that prides themselves in football each and every year, and they also show it in their community. Just a great place to be, and I'm going to miss not being able to come here, as next year we'll move to 4A. So just say again, I've probably said it 1,000 times on the air throughout the season, but it's just always a great place to come, and we really appreciate how nice they were and how they treated us tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's always a great time to come to Kingston here and play at Roane County High School.
So a fantastic night for Alcoa. They will claim the region championship. They will host Pigeon Forge on Friday. And Scott, on Friday, not only are they hosting Pigeon Forge, but they're hosting former Alcoa head coach Scott Meadows. Scott Meadows announced earlier this season that he would be retiring after this year. So we'll be playing on Friday night back where he previously coached in the A. We can't wait to bring that one to you on the NFHS network. Just a reminder for those who are listening, we will not be on YouTube next week. It'll only be NFHS throughout the playoffs and potentially the Podbean app. We'll keep you posted on that as we get to know more information, and we'll let you know all the different ways you can listen. I do know for sure NFHS Network will be the one we will have streaming for you so that you can watch the games and listen to us throughout the night. But thank you so much, again, for tuning in to the game. We're going to tell you real quick our PrintFX player of the game. And Scott, just kind of looking at my crew here real quick, make sure it's finalized. I think Abu Hanya is who we're going to give it to tonight. All right.
We got the thumbs up from Coulter.
So his first PrintFX player of the game, he had 2 catches. He had 2 touchdowns. So Jamirius Abu Hanya wins the PrintFX player of the game. Not going to be able to get him up here, I would imagine, a little difficult to do here on the road. But we will make sure we get a plaque created and get that out to him before the end of the season. So congratulate Jamirius. Congratulate everyone who's been able to play trivia with us throughout the year. We've got one more tonight, and then next week we'll move to mini helmet trivia that we'll be giving away. So you definitely don't want to miss that as well. But again, thanks so much for tuning in. Your final score, Alcoa 49, Kingston 7. I'm Heath Dunkel, and until next time, we say so long, good night, and yes, that just happened.